Imagine you command only 508 soldiers. In front of you stands the 5 million strong Aztec Empire, one of the most powerful, terrifying, and mysterious civilizations in the world. You are just a young adventurer. No imperial experience, no massive army. Yet inside you burns a fire, fame, adventure, and the desire to leave your mark on history. History will remember you. But how? You will be known as the man who toppled an empire. How could one man dismantle one of the greatest empires in just a few years? How could your name inspire both fear and awe across continents? And the most pressing question, why was Hernán Cortés so ruthless and unstoppable? He set aside mercy and humanity, commanding total control over both friend and foe. Today we dive into his dark and mysterious story. Let's embark on this journey and uncover how Hernán Cortés conquered empires, wielded power, and left a trail of fear and destruction behind him. Hernán Cortés was born in 1485 in Spain. His childhood was far from easy. His family envisioned a future for him as a typical lawyer or a member of the nobility. But within Cortés burned a different fire, a desire for adventure, discovery, and eternal fame. By the age of 19, Cortés could no longer endure just his family's strict rules. He rejected the old world entirely. One night, with a restless heart, he secretly slipped out of his home. He told no one, warned no one. He set out for a single purpose: the new world, extraordinary adventures, and a name that would echo through history. That night marked more than just a young man's escape. It was the beginning of a journey that would change the fate of millions and lay the foundation for the conquest of an empire. Cortés' courage and determination would, in a few short years, become the power that would topple the Aztec Empire. Fact 2. Betrayed by his own people. By now, Hernán Cortés was already a young and daring adventurer. The Spanish crown granted him permission to lead an expedition to Mexico, but that authorization would soon turn into a threat. Governor Velázquez suddenly changed his mind and sought to arrest Cortés and stop the expedition. But Cortés was no ordinary man. He was always one step ahead. Ignoring the governor's orders, he set sail for the New World anyway. This act of defiance became a pivotal moment in history. The expedition he led was about to shake the foundations of an empire the Spanish had never encountered before, the mighty Aztec state. This moment revealed that Cortés was not only a leader of men, but also a shrewd strategist, ready for surprises and calculated betrayals. His bold decision marked the first giant leap of a young man into an imperial adventure, one that would forever alter the course of history. Fact 3. The Aztecs mistook Cortés for a god. When Hernán Cortés arrived in Mexico, he faced one of the largest and most powerful empires in the world, the Aztec Empire. But Cortés did not rely solely on military strength. He also used psychological advantage to confuse his enemies. Aztec priests associated Cortés' appearance and arrival with Quetzalcoatl, the ancient feathered serpent god. They saw him as the long-prophesied figure, believing that Cortés would bring divine judgment and destruction to their land. This mistaken belief gave Cortés a tremendous advantage. The Aztec army, not fully understanding his strength or intentions, began to weaken psychologically under his leadership even before any battle truly began. Thus, the young adventurer, Hernán Cortés, left his mark on history not just through swords and cavalry, but as a master strategist capable of manipulating fear and belief to conquer one of the world's mightiest empires. Fact 4. Conquering a 5 million strong empire with just 500 men. When Hernán Cortés' army arrived in Mexico, he commanded only 508 Spanish soldiers. Standing before him was the Aztec Empire, numbering around 5 million people. It seemed like an impossible mission. But Cortés did not rely solely on brute force. He combined psychology, diplomacy, and strategy to make the impossible possible. He forged secret alliances with enemy tribes, instilled fear in the cities, and confused the Aztec leadership at every turn. Every battle, every tactical move, every alliance played a critical role in his conquest. In the end, with so few men, he managed to shake one of the most powerful empires in the world. This fact shows that Cortés was not just a warrior. He was a brilliant strategist and master manipulator, capable of bending fate itself to his will. Fact 5. Burning the ships to make retreat impossible. When Hernán Cortés and his men arrived in Mexico, the option to retreat still existed. But Cortés wanted victory at all costs. Fearlessness and resolve were key elements of his strategy. He burned all the ships, making any possibility of retreat impossible. This dramatic act sent a clear message to his men. There is no turning back. We either conquer or die. This tactic did more than just instill fear. It strengthened the resolve of his soldiers, forcing them to endure hardships and fight with unwavering determination. Many historians consider the burning of the ships as one of the most critical moments in Cortés' conquest of the Aztec Empire. Thus, the decision of a young leader set in motion a chain of events that would leave an eternal mark on history, changing the fate of millions. Fact 6. Secret alliances with Aztec enemy tribes. Hernán Cortés knew that the Aztec Empire could not be defeated by force and weapons alone. He needed a more subtle and clever strategy. Cortés forged secret alliances with other tribes that were either oppressed by or hostile to the Aztecs. He made agreements with enemies like the Tlaxcalans, gaining crucial military support. These alliances strengthened Cortés's army significantly and sowed internal collapse within Aztec cities. Through this plan, 500 Spanish soldiers and their allies gained an advantage over millions of Aztecs. Cortés's strategic genius made him not just a conqueror, but also a psychological and diplomatic mastermind, leaving a permanent mark on history. Fact 7. The fall of Tenochtitlan and the role of religion. Hernán Cortés encountered one of the most magnificent cities in the world, Tenochtitlan. The city was filled with towering pyramids, unmatched temple complexes, and a formidable Aztec army. Cortés knew that brute force alone would not be enough. He manipulated the Aztecs' deep religious beliefs. Aztec priests associated Cortés and his army with Quetzalcoatl, the ancient feathered serpent god. This mistaken belief confused the Aztecs and weakened their morale. Cortés took advantage of this psychological edge, laying siege to the city, positioning his forces around the pyramids, and undermining the Aztec population's will to resist. The siege that began in 1521 lasted 75 days. Deprived of safe refuge, weakened by famine and disease, the Aztecs could not withstand Cortés' power. Ultimately, Tenochtitlan fell completely. The heart of the empire was destroyed, and Cortés achieved his historic victory. Thus, Hernán Cortés conquered an empire not only with weapons, but by exploiting religion and psychology. Fact 8. Turning Montezuma against his own people. Cortés played a strategic game against the Aztec emperor Montezuma, who ruled through fear and obedience. Cortés turned this to his advantage. He held Montezuma hostage in his own palace, an act of both physical and psychological manipulation. Through Montezuma, Cortés controlled the city and influenced the decisions of Aztec leaders to his favor. By showing respect while keeping him captive, Cortés weakened Montezuma's authority in the eyes of his people. Seeing their leader in enemy hands, the Aztecs were filled with confusion and fear. This tactic demonstrated that Cortés relied as much on psychological and diplomatic skill as on military power, using Montezuma to manipulate both leadership and the empire itself. Fact 9. La Noche Triste, the Night of Sorrows. Cortés' hold on the Aztec city was never fully secure. In 1520, the Aztecs rose in revolt, pushing back his forces. This night became known in history as La Noche Triste, the Night of Sorrows. Cortés, along with his 500 Spanish soldiers and allies, tried to escape Tenochtitlan. But Aztec warriors lay in wait and attacked. Through the night, Cortés' forces fought amid bloodshed and chaos, navigating pyramids and canals. Thousands of Spaniards and allies were killed, many drowned in the waterways. It was as if the entire empire had struck back in one fateful night. Yet Cortés survived, learning the importance of careful and decisive action. La Noche Triste was not just a defeat, it was a lesson in strategy and experience, making Cortés even more ruthless and adaptable for his future conquests. Fact 10. Loss of respect and a lonely end. After dismantling the empire in Mexico, Hernán Cortés returned to Spain. Yet he received little recognition or honor for his historic achievements. Cortés' later life was lonely and shadowed. Despite his grand conquest, the Spanish crown no longer valued him. He faced both political rivals and court intrigues. In his final years, Cortés lived quietly, reflecting on old armor and maps, remembering victories and losses. The man who had changed the fate of millions died alone, and despite his name, his personal life ended in tragedy. This fact reminds us that behind every great conquest lies human vulnerability and solitude. Cortés' life is both a story of historic victory and a lesson in the loneliness that can follow even the greatest achievements.